So hello everyone to Gaara's exclusive on-stream card review. PogChamp. Not reveal, review. Very important little... Those were like 3 days ago, as you can see in the top left corner. Those cards were announced. We have the Hunter Legendary. As I mentioned before, every class gets 2 class-specific legendaries. Hunter is getting Oblivitron. So if every legendary card is bad, it has a huge impact of the playability of the class, since we will have the least amount of cards available during a 2-year cycle or 1-year cycle whenever cards rotate out. So it has a huge impact of the playability of a class. If a class legendary, because class legendaries are usually the strongest cards, and every class only gets 2 class legendaries, and if one of those 2 cards is bad or good, has a huge impact on the class. So we have Oblivitron, which is a 6 mana 3/4. Death Rattle, summon a mech from your hand and trigger its Death Rattle. So this is one of the 2 legendaries Hunter will get. There will be no hero cards or whatever. And this card is very, very bad. So why is this card very, very bad? It is a 6 mana 3/4, which is terrible, especially in a class that is relying on curving out and tempoing out, because you don't have any board clears, you don't have any defensive tools. And then, yeah, you summon a mech from your hand. Usually, well, you can summon the thingy, the 2/2 that explodes and kills something from your opponent. That's probably the best case scenarios. But this guy can just get silenced, and after the rotation, with also one of the cards next to it, with the priest cards, like an old control priest might come back, and that version will play Shadow Madness. Can you imagine Shadow Madnessing this guy? Pretty damn good value. I just can't see any Hunter archetype where you would play a card like this. Yeah. Also, you can't control which mech will get summoned. So even if you have the Death Rattle mech that destroys something, which is, by the way, is extremely slow, because this guy has to die first and then the mech has to come on board. Compare this to like Play Dead, just playing it and then play that, or cubing it. It's just a million times worse, and the opponent can silence it, and the body is super bad. Like, compare this to a cube. And yeah, mechs usually have pretty terrible Death Rattle, so it's just an abysmal card. Except Hunter gets the next legendary card that will be revealed is some crazy mech Death Rattle, like 10 mana mech Death Rattle that just, I don't know, wins you the game. Then it's a different story. Then we have Lazul's Scheme. Reduce the attack of an enemy minion by 1 until your next turn. Upgrade each turn. So it does stack into infinite. People were asking, can you go into minus attack? Yes, but it still has minus attack. It's not like you're gonna heal yourself suddenly. So below 0, if you have -2 attack or 0 attack, makes no difference. Very interesting card. It has many uses. You can combine this with, let's say, Crazed Alchemist, and if you put something to 0 attack, you can Crazed Alchemist and just kill it, any minion, which is kinda neat. You can just keep it in your hand and play Cabal on Curve, because this guy costs 0 mana, and then you can basically steal any minion with the Cabal plus this combo for 6 mana, which is pretty insane tempo-wise. It's probably the strongest steal combo Priest ever had. The cheapest in terms of overall mana, and the strongest. Because you can't really play around it. It's very difficult. Because Priest will be able to steal, technically, from your point of view, any minion that you play at any point with 6 mana. With just 6 mana. So very scary card to play against. Very powerful card. Also, it can be used with Shadowed Pain, like I mentioned, Crazed Alchemist. Yeah, very good card, and it's like a reprint, kind of like a replacement for like Shrinkmeister and these kind of shenanigans. Priest always had like this one card that just reduced the attack, so you can combo it with other cards like Shadow Madness, Potion of Madness. There were so many like steel cards, and this seems to be the strongest so far because it keeps upgrading every turn, and that's like the theme of the set. Now there's like enough cards being revealed that upgrades each turn. It's kind of like one of the themes of the set, which is very cool. Very cool effect. I think this really supports like slower decks, I would say. It's also a good sideboard card, by the way, in case you wanna only play one for whatever reason. Yeah, it's a powerful sideboard card as well. So upgrade each turn, I like it. Good card. Very bad card and very good card. Next we have like the most recent cards. They were announced yesterday. It already feels like ages ago. Maybe because I stream twice a day. So we have Rafam's Scheme. It's a new shaman spell, 3 mana. Is it a shaman spell? Or is it a warlock? It looks like a warlock spell. It's a warlock spell, which makes sense because you summon imps. So next up we have Rafam's Scheme, summon a 1/1 imp, upgrades each turn. This is like how Implosion should have been. A more balanced version of Implosion. It starts to become pretty good at 4 imps, right? So 3 mana, 4 imps. Because it's split bodies, it's pretty huge. If you compare this to Wisps, the Wisps of the Old Gods, or what is it called? The Druid card gives you Wisps. Sometimes you get 4 Wisps for 4 mana, which was already okay. But getting like 3 imps, can you get on curve? I think on the coin maybe? You're on the coin, you draw a card. I wonder if you get immediately the upgrade when you are on the coin. I'm not sure about that. Like if you go second and then you have this in your hand and then it's your turn. Maybe not. Anyways, if you play this on 4, you would flood the mana, but you would probably play this card in Zoo regardless, because you can always curve out minions with it. And if you discard it with like Soulfire Doomguard, you're fine. It's very good for refilling the board. You did also play Implosion in Zoo. It doesn't give you a tempo the same way Implosion did, but Implosion could have also been really bad. It could have hit for 2 damage and give you 2 imps, and you still played it in Zoo because of the hero potential. And this card is just like a refill. I'm pretty sure you're gonna play it. It's just like a good card. Also, like in Control Warlocks, you can combine it with the file for God knows what reason, but you can just get a full board for 3 mana. Seems pretty powerful. Like it can just stick in your hand forever, and in like slow Warlock playstyles, just having a card in your hand is fine. Like just to reduce your Mountain Giant, your Twilight Drake, make it stronger. And in Zoo, you just can discard it. And yeah, you just get a bunch of minions which you can buff and stuff. I think this is a very powerful card. All these upgrade per turn cards seem pretty powerful. It's difficult to see a big downside in a card like this. It's a very bad top deck. If you rely on top decking good cards, all these upgrade cards are terrible top decks because you never want to play them the turn you drew them. And if these cards fall short, that will be the reason why. I like to compare it to Elise, even though it might be weird. Like, why is Elise not played in every single deck? Like a 5 mana 5/5 is not terrible. It really isn't. But it's not good enough. And her effect is just extremely slow, right? And this effect is also extremely slow. And Elise doesn't make the cut in most decks, even though it's a beautiful card on paper, just because it's slow. And these upgrade cards need to be in your hand a couple turns before they become good. So maybe there will be like cards that are not played in every deck, which makes it good even better, to be honest, because then it would not make these cards auto-include. I don't think these cards are like that crazy that they're like auto-include. They're obviously top tier cards, but it makes you make decisions. I like the design. I think it's good. We shall see, because we don't have this kind of mechanic in the game at all. And we gotta see how this will play out. It's interesting, right? It's not OP, it's not weak, it seems balanced. I can't believe I just said that. Hearthstone related. It seems balanced, yep. Next card is... Oh, let's first see what people have to say. Omega Devastator. It's a warrior class card. Battle cry: if you have 10 mana crystals, deal 10 damage to a minion. Extremely powerful effect, especially removal cards in general. Every good removal card or decent removal card saw play in Hearthstone history. Even weaker removal cards, kind of like Shadow Bolt. Shadow Bolt is, compared to other removal cards, really bad, or Siphon Soul, but they saw a lot of play. So pretty much every removal card sees play, especially minions. Cards like Bomb Lobber, Dynomatic. Every removal card, or that gives you even like an upside, saw play. And this card has a ridiculous upside. Just being able to remove any threat in late game is huge. For 4 mana is ridiculous. Like having a 4 mana deal 10 damage is really good. It's kind of like a... Where it does have removal because you have shield slams and executes. You couldn't run the executes in Baku, but Baku is rotating out. It also always depends on which class gets these type of cards. And Warrior does have single target removal. You also have the Lancer, but Lancer requires you to run dragons. But it's still a super powerful card regardless. You can play it as a 4 mana 4/5 as a Yeti. And you have a crazy upside. You basically always want to play this past 10 mana. Warrior is gonna be interesting. You don't have like the Baku archetype anymore, but you still have Dr. Boom, which is the strongest DK in the game. Can we talk about this for a second? Warrior has the strongest Death Knight in the game remaining, and every other like Death Knight that is contesting. Like, Warrior is already beating current Death Knights. You can beat Jaina, you can beat Rexa, you can beat Gul'dan, but those guys will be gone. And Dr. Boom will remain. And Warrior is getting Omega Devastator. You still have Omega Assembly, so you have value. You have Dr. Boom, you have the max energy. This guy is a mech too. You can get this guy from Omega Assembly, and you can get it from the hero power. This card is absolutely S tier. Can I call S tier 5 stars, 6 stars or something? This card will be meta defining. 100%. Like, even if you would not play him in your deck for whatever reason, he will be a huge pickup from Dr. Boom hero power and from Omega Assembly. And he's a mech. Like, absolutely insane card. The best card revealed so far by far. Absolutely insane. I want to see what people have to say. Overall decent. I like that. Overall decent for me, chat. Improve morale. I mean, I think this is trash. Let's see what people have to say. The next card is Improve Morale. Deal 1 damage to a minion. If it survives, add a lack in your hand. So we had Blood to Ichor, which was similar. You could deal 1 damage to something. If it survives, you get a 2/2. So the way how you would use this card is to use it on Acolyte. We might go back to that playstyle. You know, you ping Acolyte, you draw a card, and then you get something on the board, and then you go Battle Rage, then draw more cards, and these lackeys have like useful tools. You do not want to use this card as a very bad Elven Archer, deal 1 damage to something opponent and kill it. You always want to get the lackey, and preferably you ping an Acolyte of Pain with this card. If we have like a combo draw warrior archetype, this card will see play, I think. You know, you could ping patrons, but we don't have patrons. Maybe there will be something printed in this expansion where you wanna, you know, again, Like you could improve morale a patron and then play Whirlwind and for patrons, but I don't know, man, if we get anything like that. So we gotta wait and see. Like as a standalone, you would not play this card. It's like clearly a combo card, and yeah, we gotta see if we will have combo warrior decks. And that's it. I wish there were more cards to talk about.